CNN Headline News, good morning, I'm Sachi Koto. At birth, he was given up for dead, as he was at some points during his career. But Frank Sinatra always managed to fight his way back. But last night, Sinatra died of a heart attack in the emergency room of Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, his wife Barbara at his side. He was 82. Sinatra was best known as a singer, but he was also a successful actor with 66 films to his credit. Dennis Michael has more.
'Cause you're sensational.
In films like High Society and Anchors Away in the late 40s and early 50s, Frank Sinatra played what he was, a fabulously famous and talented singer.
My heart should be well schooled.
Sinatra's reputation as a serious actor was born in the 1953 film From Here to Eternity in a part that fit him perfectly.
Sorry, gentlemen, I already won my bankroll latrine. Besides, a penny ante game.
Sinatra won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in that film, and from there his career as a serious actor was often a distinguished one. He played a central role in the critically acclaimed Manchurian Candidate.
How did you know that? How do you know?
But he also indulged himself and his Rat Pack buddies in pictures like Robin and the Seven Hoods and the ultimate Rat Pack picture, Ocean's 11, in which Sinatra leads an assault on Las Vegas.
These are the 5 casinos we hit. Sahara, Riviera, Desert Inn, the Sands, and the Flamingo.
Sinatra was even what could be considered an action hero, leading a trainload of American prisoners out of Nazi Germany in Von Ryan's Express. For someone with such an established image, Sinatra wasn't afraid to take some chances. Von Ryan's Express featured an image-breaker sequence in which he kills a woman who might endanger the escape, a surprise for some of his fans. And he was the star of one of the first films to deal, if gingerly, with the subject of homosexuality in The Detective.
You know if he had any other friends of a similar persuasion?
Sinatra's last serious film role had him in detective mode again in The First Deadly Sin in 1980. He made a self-mocking cameo appearance in the 1982 potboiler Cannonball Run 2. His withdrawal from dramatic roles was a loss for the movies, and his co-stars agreed.
Frank was as open and as clear and as pure a talent as I've ever seen. He has a wonderful innate ability to simply do it.
There are in this world talented people. They're just talented people, and Frank is one of them. He was a wonderful actor, a really good actor. He had passion.
I had the dubious distinction of giving Frank his first screen kiss. And so all the fans would say, oh, how did it feel to kiss Sinatra? How did it feel? And I said, I don't know. I'm an actress. That was part of the role. I didn't take it seriously. Now I wish I had.
Even if he had not been one of the foremost singers of the 20th century, his career as an actor would have made his mark in the entertainment industry. Dennis Michael, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
On a radio talent show and won first prize.
I'm Frank, Major. We're looking for jobs. How about it?
A few years later, the well-known bandleader Harry James heard him and hired him. Shortly after, Sinatra left to sing for the better-known Tommy Dorsey Band. And by 1942, he'd become so popular, he went out on his own.
I sing the song that I sang for the memories I usually see.
He was the first teen idol. His fans, known as Bobby Soxers, lined up for blocks.
And they lined up 9 in the morning.
And they went down to 8th Avenue and all the way around the back up to Broadway again.
And you did how many a day?
One Saturday, I did 11 shows. We started at 8:10 in the morning, and I finished at 2:30 the next Sunday morning.
Sinatra's stardom quickly spread to radio and then movies.
What a dish, what a dream, what a day!
His star continued to rise until the end of World War II, when musical tastes began to change and his records stopped selling. He was dropped by his record label and his movie studio, and the stress caused him to lose his voice. It only got worse when Sinatra left his wife and kids to romance and marry the sultry star Ava Gardner. By the early 50s, he was a has-been, desperately seeking a second chance. And he got it.
Who's the broad? It's my sister. That's important.
Sinatra had pleaded for a part in From Here to Eternity and got the job.
You hit me. Yeah, and I'm about to do it again, too.
He won an Oscar as Best Supporting Actor and relaunched his career. He would go on to make some of his finest films.
Trust me this once, will you? You know I don't do that. I'll pay you twice as much later, but I gotta do something right now.
And record some of his most memorable music.
In the wee small hours of the morning, that's the time.
The voice now seems sadder, wiser, reflecting the pain of his crumbling marriage to Ava Gardner.
I'm a fool to want you.
But as the 50s went on, Sinatra's fame reached new heights as the leader of the pack. The Rat Pack.
You realize how wrong you are. Use that.
Frank, Dino, Sammy, and the rest, in the repressed Eisenhower 50s, they defined a carefree kind of cool. It was also a time when Sinatra took a then unpopular stand.
The hotels he played in, he would not play there unless black entertainers could have the same facilities and go through the same entrances. Incredible as it seems now, Nat King Cole, Lena Horne, Sammy Davis Jr. even had to go through back entrances.
Sinatra's aura attracted the beautiful and the powerful. In 1960, he campaigned for his pal, Jack Kennedy. The friendship soured when Bobby Kennedy advised his brother that Sinatra's mob connections could damage the White House.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart.
In 1966, Sinatra surprised everyone by taking as his third wife actress Mia Farrow, who was 30 years younger. The marriage lasted 2 years.
I was 19 when we met, and he was almost 50, approaching his 50th birthday. So I knew nothing of his history, and I think a shared history or a common knowledge of a history is a help in a relationship, especially, you know, with such a complex figure as Frank.
All the way.
Through the 60s and on into the 70s and 80s, Sinatra made more movies and had more hit records.
No, not me. I did it.
And he kept on performing live in concert around the world, even as advancing age took its toll on his voice and his health. As he told Larry King in 1988,
There's a very good chance that I probably should have gotten out by now, but I enjoy it.
Sinatra spent his final years in unofficial retirement, making few appearances, his health increasingly frail.
Pardon me, but I gotta run.
And now, Sinatra is gone. But as long as lovers kiss and hearts break, his will be the voice that tells their story.
Excuse me while I disappear.
And stay tuned to CNN Today for coverage of the death of Frank Sinatra throughout the morning here. Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 on the West Coast. About 50 minutes from now, we will replay Larry King's 1988 interview with Frank Sinatra. That was done 10 years ago this week. Here's a quick preview from that interview now.
You think about what's selling today, who are the people who are known by millions of people. The younger people are not any of us anymore. They know who we were and they know who we are by people discussing us. Or maybe if I did a concert somewhere and a family took their 18-year-old daughter or son to hear you, then they get to hear you, but depends upon what they're looking at. I mean, they're looking at the guys with the guitars and all of the noise.
We hate to leave
With his singing career in full swing, it was only natural that he'd make a similar splash in the movies. And he did in MGM's Anchors Aweigh.
With all of these things.
Playing a shy and lovesick sailor, he sang two of the movie's best songs, I Fall in Love Too Easily and The Charm of You.
Because they add up to the charm